What's up, guys? Enter Nose Hoops back today with another video, and today we are in the first new series of the off season. The other one I'm working on is a mega project. I'm probably actually going to make a video discussing about that with you guys and trying to get your help as my community. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are 7 away from 800, so let's make it happen. Today we are doing what I like to call the Hoopers retrospective, or historical hoops, whatever you want to call it. Today, we are going back in the career of certified Hall of Famer first ballot, not even a waste of time, Chris Paul in his very first playoff series. I'd done this before with LeBron and Steph Curry back in the last offseason, but that was around the time I started taking a break, and that won't be happening this time. So this is something I'm trying to give to you guys at least once a week, maybe once every other week. So I actually have time to sit down and watch most of these games, give my insight. But Chris Paul in this first series, in the first playoff series, to average 25, 6, and 12 with 2 steals on 50 from the field and 81 from the line. He shot 27% from 3. He only took 11 in the whole series. And to beat the Dallas Mavericks, who were no slouch this year, if I remember correctly. 51 and 31. So very first playoff series already. Chris Paul's beating a 50-win team. And this is just honestly a remarkable series. So without further ado, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let's get right into it. So first I want to talk about Chris Paul as a scorer. What he does here is immaculate, right? Gets the screen action, right? Jason Kidd, by the way, so elite guard defender, right? Backs up off him, gets the screen, right? He's fighting over it. And then just the beauty here. So the defender here forces him to drive left. So he switches hands or even tries to go, I believe it's underneath, and gets the beautiful lay, right? Like Chris Paul being assertive is a big reason the Hornets won this series. It feels weird calling them the Hornets and not the Pelicans, by the way. And then this dude, Chris Paul decks him like it's 2K. Like he runs up, right? Jason Kidd bites on the movement, so he slips under him and rolls. Beautiful pass by the big man. And this is just tough, right? But this is what prime Chris Paul, like, even now, like I used to think, because I grew up more so at the very, very end of Lob City and the Houston years and even OKC and Phoenix. But man, New Orleans Chris Paul, he's different, bro. He's so different. You could argue he could have won MVP that year, or should have won it. Like what he was doing with this team, immaculate. But anyways, right. Chris Paul again, using the screen action. Kid just fights right over it. Because again, you're in an era where guys are playing drop anyways, because not a lot of 3-point shots. Even when they were shooting them, even in this game, a lot of bricks. Chris Paul slows the game down. He dumps it to his big. Gets it back out because the man commits. Now he has a big body on him. Gets the screen. Defender kind of lazily, is navigating to the wrong side of the screen. And look at the wide open space he has here, you guys. Like there's not a soul bothering him here, right? Wide open, easy pull up. That's prime peak Chris Paul. Like it's disgusting. And then if I remember this correctly, we're going to be looking at Chris Paul now as the playmaker. I mean, I think a lot of people know him as a lob threat, whatever. But man, seeing the way that he created in some of these clips, right? Like, first of all, breaking this down as a scorer, what I noticed as for Chris Paul in this series, the Hornets were at their best when he was aggressive and assertive. Because even at the beginning of game 1, and I believe at some points in game 2 and 3, the Mavericks lost or won. Chris Paul, when he was more passive or like trying to get other dudes, getting them going, they would fall. Like the game 1, they were down like 15 or 12. Second half, Chris Paul just said, I'm putting on the backpack. We ain't losing this game. And just took him to the moon. The assertiveness here, right? Like the pick action, right? Kidd gets shrugged off. Easy little float. Nothing you can do to defend that. But that's the incredibleness of what, like, Chris Paul was just different, man. And I think so many people look at what he is now, especially with the Warriors and like the last couple of years in Phoenix. Man, he's one of those players you got to just go back and even just watch highlights, whatever it is. You got to know, dude, this dude was built different, man. Like, watching this series, I was honest to God impressed. Like, so talking about him as a playmaker, right? Okay. So he slows it down so that the big actually sticks to him. Because at that point, Dirk is the only rim protector. Dirk's not a good rim protector. Right, so now Jason Kidd comes over, doubles. Now, Dirk taps him because I think he thinks the man or here is going to slide over. But nope. So at this point, right, it's too late. Like, that's a perfect lob, the perfect timing, taking advantage of what's wide open in front of you. Like, it's actually, like, incredible. And then you're going to see here, Chris Paul actually gets a little pin screen here down by the post. Gets the separation, right? Jason Kidd bites. Waits. Now Dirk pulls over, understandably so, because Chris Paul's been hooping. Gets it out to the man right there at the elbow or almost at the nail. Easy midi. Like, look, like, I know, like, these passes aren't anything like otherworldly, but it's just the ease that Chris Paul does it with. It's like he just it's like a computer. It feels like a computer, like you're playing 2K and the CPU, you know, if y'all have done any, you know, seasoned sims or franchise sims, and the CPU is trying to run plays, it's like Chris Paul is like already got everything planned out in his head, right? So Dirk comes up and attacks him. So Chris goes, let me just stay right here. Because then Kid's going, no. You cannot have Dirk on you. Because he's going to, you know, just from sheer speed or whatever, get past him. Chris Paul just, whoop, here you go. Wide open. Dirk comes over late. Open midi. Their run continues. Right? And again, this is in crunch time now. You're up 2. Takes the big body screen and just takes advantage of him being 2 to 3 steps ahead of his man. Nothing Kid can do there. Like, the ball placement from Chris Paul is, I think, what young Chris Paul, I think a lot of people need to remember too. Like, yes, it's a lob, sure. And a lot of good to great point guards in history have done lobs, but just the ball placement. Like, even here, right? So, if we slow it down, Kid stops. He's like, no, I gotta force him to slow down. Chris Paul does a little turbo R2 like it's 2K. Dribbles past, man slides over. At that point, when his hand's out, then he passes. Because at that point, there's no real big there. You get the contest, and there's an and one. Right? Like, that's what I think Chris Paul just... It's actually insane what he does. Like, just look at, like, the way he has the recognition, right? So he taps the screener, the man goes over, right? Doubles him, hard double. Chris immediately goes, no. Wide open, thank you. Like, that's the thing I would say. It's just watching prime Chris Paul operate as a playmaker. It's just so different, man. Like, just like he fakes the floater, because now he forces the big here to commit. Boop. No one there to stop that guy though. Like, it's actually beautiful what Chris Paul does. And then as a defender, right? Like, look at the read here, right? So Chris catches on to the fact that there's a corner guy. So he taps off him. He goes, hold on. Dirk's a good enough passer and a playmaker. Just a great enough player to make that IQ. Chris, like a cornerback in football, picks that off. Starts going the other way. Right? And then the guy's dribbling the ball. And then you're going to see here, Chris navigates around the screen and gets right in front of Kid, because the forced team defense gets the bounce pass to go. Which, again, I think Chris Paul as a defender in this series is actually kind of underrated. I don't think he's, prime Gary Payton. But man, guys, Chris Paul was so good. Like, the way that he would get everybody involved in the game, and he was playing 40 minutes a game in these games, And to only, now remind you, he played 5 games. He only had 6 total turnovers for the entire series. Not 6 a game. Not, he had 3. 6 total turnovers. Like, it's disgusting. In 5 games, only 6 turnovers. To get you at 25 and 12 and 2 steals, like, I think, honest to God, Chris Paul that was his coming out party. Like, the regular season, right? That regular season, because it was him and Kobe in that super tight MVP race. But it was honest to God when Chris Paul in these playoffs showed this was not just a one-off regular season thing. I'm here to stay. Guys, I would highly recommend trying to watch this series wherever you can. It's awesome. It's incredible. It's actually a lot of fun. I guess I'm also a nerd, and I just absolutely love watching these. So I'm curious, what series would you guys want me to cover next? What player? I could do something more like, how did this series progress? Chris Paul, man, he was just assertive. Like, I think in most of these games, unless Dirk was the leading scorer, 2 of the games it was him. Another 2 it was David West, but I'm pretty sure Paul was close behind him. And in the 4th quarter of that game, of the final closeout game, right? Chris Paul went 5 for 7. The only other guy that did well in that 4th quarter for that team was Gennaro Pargo at 3 for 4. But 5 for 7 and 4 rebounds and an assist. That'll help. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Did you enjoy this content? Do you not like it? What would you rather have me do? I'm open for all sorts of comments. Just go ahead and leave them. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. This was Answer Knows Hoops. This was the Hoopers Rewind or Retrospective. Let me know what you think down below. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. This was Answer Knows Hoops. Peace out.